Hi, Mark Biesick here at AMSD Legislative Preview Session. What did you guys hear today?
Well, I think the most hopeful thing I heard was Mindy Grayling talking about there's a lot of new senators and legislators that are going to be on the Senate Finance or the Education Finance and the Education Committee, that hopefully there's what I see as the hope for change.
Okay, Jolene?
What did I hear? I actually heard a governor that showed up and talked education that actually knew what he was talking about.
Which reinforces that budgets are about values and priorities as much as they're about dollars and cents, whether that be in Washington or St. Paul.
He also recognized that our biggest critics are those that have never been within the schools. There's some good things that we've been trying to highlight within our district, that it isn't all bad and doom and gloom and such. So that's what I heard.
You know, of all the people that we've heard here today, what are you hopeful for? What do you think you heard that, as far as our district, District 728, we can really kind of look forward to and reach out and say, boy, there is something going to happen here. Anything stand out?
Wow, that's tough.
Yeah.
I think the one message you hear that I think will resonate with me is don't cannibalize each other. That as we're looking at the budget deficit, how are we going to solve it and make education a priority without cannibalizing each other? And I think that's going to be a big challenge not only for our district but for all districts in the state.
Jolene, anything stand out?
No, I totally agree with Holly, because it's always been a struggle that we know that we're underfunded if you look at equalization, but then what does that mean? Taking away from other school districts? That's not going to help the state either.
The representative here had some interesting and some excellent points that he made as far as his agenda this year for the session, and I just ask you if you'd reiterate those points for our staff and our district.
Sure. Well, thanks, Superintendent. I guess the first thing we're looking at doing is repealing the January 15th deadline. It's a silly provision in contract law, getting rid of that penalty. We want to move forward on that. In addition, we want to give school districts more flexibility for transferring existing fund balances. As it works right now, every year, school districts come up on bended knee and say, hey, can we move this amount of money from this account over to this account? That's where it serves us best.
And that was one of the pieces of legislation we had in the final bill last year from our excess debt service. We have $3.5 million that we can't touch, and it was in the bill, but as you know, the
right.
bill fell flat. So that's a great point.
Right, it's a consequence of when you wait until the last second, you pile everything together to consolidate and centralize power. It screws things up. There's no reason to wait till May. We get paid per diem in May and in January. There's no excuse for not working now. So let's just get that done, transfer that balance over there. In addition, I'd like to see the 2% staff development issue looked at. Again, we want to give you the flexibility to spend that money. We want to look at unfunded mandates. And I know every year we talk about this, that, this is the year we're going to pass unfunded mandates. No, we're serious about it this year. I want to hold myself accountable. If we don't have the legislature pass that, then it's going to be, from my perspective, not a successful session. I can't control what Governor Dayton's going to do on that issue, but really we want to make sure we take a look at that. And overall, we want to make sure that we take a look at just hitting the reset button on the collective bargaining process. Right now, school boards, superintendents, local stakeholders, they're going to the negotiating table with one hand tied behind their back. We want to make sure that the playing field is more level, more fair. That's what we want to see happen.
Well, great. I appreciate your time. Thanks.
You bet. Good seeing you.
Yeah.